Hey there, I'm Ava Summers. I'm 28, living in LA, and absolutely thriving as an animator at DreamWorks. But let me tell you, getting here was no walk in the park. Growing up, my family never understood my passion for art. I'd spend hours sketching characters, completely absorbed, but my parents just saw it as a waste of time. Ava, honey, why don't you help out at the store instead of doodling? That was my mom's favorite line. As for my dad, he'd just grunt and shake his head in disapproval. But you know what? I didn't let that stop me. I worked my butt off, got into art school, and now here I am, living in a sweet downtown apartment, surrounded by friends who actually support my dreams, and waking up excited to go to a job that makes me come alive every single day. Speaking of family, though, there's still, well, them. My older brother Mark is the golden child, of course. My younger sister Emma's still figuring things out, and my parents, John and Linda, are stuck in their old school mindset. Just last weekend, we had this big family dinner, and Mark drops a bombshell. I'm moving to New York. Got a big opportunity there. Everyone starts fawning over him like he's a rock star. Then, with this smug grin, he turns to me and says, "Hey Ava, since I'm leaving, why don't you quit your little drawing job and take over the family store?" I nearly choked on my pasta. "Excuse me?" I asked. "Yeah, come on, sis. The store's struggling. We need someone to run it full-time," he replied. Before I could even respond, my mom jumped in. "That's a wonderful idea, Mark," she gushed. "Ava, honey, this is your chance to do something meaningful." Meaningful? I sputtered. "I'm creating art that reaches millions." My dad scoffed. "Art? You mean those cartoon things? This is real work, Ava." I couldn't believe it. I'm not quitting my job to run a failing convenience store. Mark shot me a look. "Don't be selfish, Ava. Think about the family for once." That was the breaking point. Selfish. I've worked my ass off to get where I am. None of you supported me, and now you want me to throw it all away. Language, young lady, my mom gasped, and Emma rolled her eyes. "Stop being so dramatic." I stood up, my chair screeching against the floor. "You know what? I'm done. Call me when you actually care about my life." As I stormed out, I heard my dad mutter, "Always been a difficult child." I slammed the door behind me, tears stinging my eyes. How could they still not see me, still not understand me? As I drove home, I realized something. Maybe it was time to stop seeking their approval altogether. The next day at work, I couldn't focus. My mind kept replaying last night's disaster. Zoe, my best friend and desk neighbor, noticed right away. "Spill it, Ava. What's with the zombie look?" I sighed. My family's at it again. They want me to quit and run the family store. "What? That's insane," Zoe said, her eyes wide. "Tell me you said no." "Of course I did, but I don't know. Maybe I should help out a little." Zoe grabbed my shoulders. "Ava, no. Stand your ground. This job is your dream. Don't let them guilt you into giving it up." But guilt? It's a powerful thing. Before I knew it, I was spending my weekends at the store, and let me tell you, it was a disaster. "Mom, these numbers don't add up," I said, frowning at the ledger. She waved me off. "Oh, don't worry about that. Your father handles the finances." But Dad was just as clueless. "It's probably just a mistake in the system," he mumbled. I dug deeper and found a stack of overdue bills. "Guys, we're in serious debt here." They exchanged worried looks. "We'll figure it out," Dad said under his breath. One day, while restocking shelves, I overheard Mark on the phone. "Yeah, it's all set up. Once I'm in New York, we'll make it happen. Don't worry about my family. They won't suspect a thing." What the hell was he up to? Between the store and my actual job, I was burning out fast. My latest project at work was suffering, and my boss wasn't happy. "Ava, this isn't up to your usual standard. Is everything okay?" I forced a smile. "Yeah, just a bit tired. I'll fix it, I promise." Even Ryan, my boyfriend, was getting frustrated. "Babe, we barely see each other anymore," he complained one night. "I know, I'm sorry. It's just family stuff," I said. He rolled his eyes. "It's always family stuff with you." I felt like I was drowning, trying to please everyone and failing miserably. Then came the night that changed everything. I'd been trying to reach Ryan all day, but he wasn't answering. Worry gnawed at me. I decided to surprise Ryan at his place. Using the spare key, I let myself in, calling out, "Ryan, you home?" That's when I heard it. giggling, coming from the bedroom. My heart pounded as I pushed the door open. There they were, Ryan and Emma, my sister, tangled up in bed together. They scrambled to cover themselves, but the damage was done. Ava, it's not. Ryan stuttered, while Emma just looked away, unable to meet my eyes. It felt like a punch to the gut. My boyfriend, my sister, the two people I thought I could trust. How long? I managed to choke out, my voice barely above a whisper. Ava, please. Emma started, her voice shaky. How long? I screamed, my voice breaking. Ryan hung his head. A few months. I stumbled backward, my world spinning. Without another word, I turned and ran. Ran from the betrayal, the lies, everything I thought I knew. Tears blurred my vision as I drove home, one thought echoing in my mind. Who can I trust now? After that night, I threw myself into work at the store. If I stayed busy, I wouldn't have to think about Ryan or Emma. But the more I dug into the store's finances, the more things didn't add up. Something was seriously wrong. Zoe, I need your help, I said one day at lunch. Something's off with my family's store, and I think it's connected to Mark's big opportunity in New York. Bless her heart, Zoe didn't hesitate. I'm in. What do you need? We spent weeks digging, using every spare moment, late nights, weekends, you name it. And what we found made me sick to my stomach. Mark's been embezzling money for years, I told Zoe, staring at the evidence on my laptop. He's been siphoning off profits, faking inventory losses. No wonder the store's been struggling. I knew I had to confront my parents, but I wasn't prepared for what came next. Mom, Dad, I need to show you something, I said, laying out the documents on the kitchen table. What's all this? Dad frowned, his eyes scanning the papers. I took a deep breath. Mark's been stealing from the store. Look, here are the transfers, the fake inventory records. Mom cut me off, her voice icy. Ava, stop it. How dare you accuse your brother of something like this? I'm not accusing, I have proof, I insisted, but Dad slammed his hand on the table. Enough? You've always been jealous of Mark's success. This is a new low, even for you. Before I could say another word, the front door opened, and in walked Mark, looking smug as ever. Hey family, guess who's back? He said, all charm and arrogance. Mom rushed over to hug him. Mark, what happened to New York? He shrugged casually. Didn't work out, but no worries. I've got new plans for the store. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. New plans? You mean more ways to steal from us? Mark's eyes narrowed as he glanced at the documents I held. What are you talking about? I know what you've been doing, embezzling, faking inventory reports, I said, my voice firm. Mark chuckled, but I saw the panic flicker in his eyes. She's lost it, he laughed, turning to our parents. You don't believe this, right? To my horror, they sided with him. Of course we don't, honey, Mom said, pulling him closer. Ava's always been dramatic. A huge argument erupted, everyone yelling over each other, voices overlapping, accusations flying. I stood there in disbelief, watching my family unravel right before my eyes. And for the first time, I wondered if I even belonged in this family anymore. You ungrateful brat, Dad roared, his face flushed with anger. After everything we've done for you. Mom was crying, and Mark played the victim perfectly, shaking his head in disbelief. I can't believe you make up such lies, Ava. You need help. I stormed out, feeling more alone than ever. The next day, my boss called me into her office. Ava, your work has been slipping. If this continues, we'll have to reconsider your position here. I nodded, numb. I understand. It won't happen again. That night, I went back to the store, hoping to clear my head. That's when I overheard Mark on the phone. Yeah, the sale's almost finalized. Once the store's gone, we'll split the money, and no one will be the wiser. He was planning to sell the store behind everyone's back. I sat in my car for hours, weighing my options. My family wouldn't believe me, my job was on the line, and Mark was about to destroy everything. Finally, I made a decision. I couldn't let Mark win. I couldn't let my parents lose everything. And I couldn't give up the career I had worked so hard for. It was time to stop playing nice. It was time to expose the truth, no matter the cost. The next morning, I called my parents. I'm done helping at the store. I need to focus on my work. Dad scoffed. Typical, always thinking of yourself. I bit my tongue and hung up, then made an anonymous call to the IRS. At work, I threw myself into my animation project. Long nights, endless cups of coffee. But it was worth it. When I finally presented it, the room erupted in applause. My boss pulled me aside, beaming. Ava, this is incredible. We're promoting you to lead animator on our next big project. I was on cloud nine until my phone buzzed with a news alert. Local business owner arrested for tax evasion and fraud. My stomach dropped. It was happening. I rushed to the store, where I found my parents in shock as IRS agents combed through everything. What's going on? Mom cried. An agent approached us. Ma'am, your store is being seized due to years of financial misconduct. Dad turned to me, his face ashen. Ava, you were right. How could we have been so blind? I felt a mix of vindication and sadness. I tried to tell you. Just then, Emma burst in, her mascara streaked with tears. Ava, I'm so sorry. Ryan, he cheated on me too. With my best friend. I couldn't help but laugh bitterly. Karma's a bitch, isn't it? The next few weeks were chaos. Mark was facing serious jail time. The store was gone, and my parents were drowning in debt. Ava, honey, Mom pleaded over the phone. We need help. Could you lend us some money? I took a deep breath. No, Mom, I can't. But we're family, she said, her voice breaking. Family? I scoffed. You haven't acted like family in years. I'm done. I hung up, hands shaking but feeling lighter than I had in a long time. A month later, I got an offer from a top animation studio in New York. I didn't hesitate. As I packed up my LA apartment, Zoe helped, tears in her eyes. I'm going to miss you, girl, but I'm so proud of you. I hugged her tight. I couldn't have done this without you. 6 months later, I was thriving. My new project was gaining buzz. I had an amazing group of friends, and for the first time in forever, I felt truly happy. One sunny Saturday, as I sketched in Central Park, my phone rang. Mom's name flashed on the screen. I stared at it, memories flooding back, the arguments, the betrayals, the years of feeling like I was never good enough. I looked up at the bustling city around me, at the life I had built for myself. I declined the call. As I went back to my sketch, a sense of peace washed over me. I was finally free. Free from expectations, free from toxic relationships, free to be me. And you know what? It felt good.